Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another horror movie night. Tonight, I will be reviewing Scream for Help, released in 1984. Scream for Help stars Rachael Kelly, Marie Masters, David Allen Brooks, Lolita Lorre, Rocco Sisto, Corey Parker, and Sandra Clark. Scream for Help was directed by Michael Winner. Now, this one was written by Tom Holland. So the same writer who brought us such greats as Psycho 2, Fright Night, and Child's Play is responsible for writing this film. And when I first watched this film about, probably about 10, 15 years ago, I didn't know what to expect. And when I first started it, it felt almost like a after-school special. I was getting that vibe from it, and that was kind of weird for me. I was like, oh wow, this is not what I was expecting here at all. Because the character of Christy Cromwell, she's the main character of the story. And there's a lot of scenes where she is writing in her diary, and we are hearing her narration and everything on it. And it kind of just has that feel of a after-school special early on, in the film. And I should have known, though, if I would have paid attention upon seeing the credits, that the director was Michael Winner, that's not exactly going to be the case. This is the director who is responsible for films like Death Wish, Death Wish 2, and Death Wish 3, amongst other films. He's not known for being subtle when it comes to violence or sexual stuff on screen. So now, thankfully, he didn't go that route with Rachael Kelly's character of Christy Cromwell, because she is like a 16-year-old girl in this film. But her best friend, Sandra Clark's character of Janie Ralston, she is more of a wild child character. And there are some moments in there where you get to see her scantily clad in this film. So, and there's also some scenes with a character named Brenda, played by Lolita Lorre. And I will get to her character a little bit later in this review, but yeah, there are moments that are more adult-oriented. I'm not saying it's a porn film or anything like that. It's way away from that. And I don't think this is as bad as some of the stuff that he put in the Death Wish films, Michael Winner. This is more him, a little bit more subtle. There is no weird, creepy rapes in this, like in the Death Wish films, thankfully. The story consists of Christy Cromwell becoming very suspicious of her mom, Karen, played by Marie Masters' new boyfriend, Paul, played by David Allen Brooks. And it really kind of reminded me a lot of a film that I just reviewed called The Snorkel. The big difference here is in The Snorkel, the man ends up killing the girl's mother successfully, and then she suspects and is trying to convince people that that he was a murderer and everything. In this, she suspects he's trying to kill her mother, and she's trying to warn people that, about it, including her own mother. And this all comes about because she gets up in the middle of the night and she's like going down to get some milk. And she hears a noise in the basement. And when she goes to investigate, Paul comes out of the basement, comes up with some backstory of why he's there and everything. And she lets it go. She just puts it out of her head, goes on back to bed. But then the next day, a workman is working down in the basement and ends up being electrocuted, supposedly by accident, by the power box. And for some reason, there was water, a big puddle of water around the power box that nobody saw, and it seems like it was just an accident that water was there because of a drip or something in the basement. Once that happens, once that person is killed in that supposed accident working down there, that's when Christy begins to suspect that Paul was intending to get Karen to go down there and have her mess with the power box and get electrocuted. And it turns out, now, if you have not seen this film, go watch it first before I spoil anything for you. Okay? All right. But it turns out she is right. And her friend Janie, as I mentioned before, this awesome wild child girl, played awesomely by Sandra Clark. She just does a great job. I really liked her character. Unfortunately, Christy pulls her into this, and they go following Paul and find out that he's messing around with this woman named Brenda, played by Lolita Lorre. And Janie is her backup, letting people know that she is telling the truth on this. But unfortunately, a very ironic hit and run ends up killing Janie. And Christy has no proof of any of this anymore because she doesn't have any backup to tell the other side of the story. So it's only her word against Paul. And Janie had this boyfriend, played by Corey Parker, named Josh Dealey. And he begins to get close to Christy, and they begin to do their own little bit of an investigating and everything. But as soon as Paul realizes that she is not going to give up, he decides, alongside his cohorts, Brenda and her so-called brother, Lacey, played by Rocco Sisto, end up planning to attack the house and make it look like there was a robbery gone wrong. Now, this is the part of the story that I don't really fully think was very well written by Tom Holland in here. The rest of it is really well done. But I think this ending just seems a little just too abrupt and is just a little bit too out there, that they would go and just completely do an onslaught on this house. And it feels a little bit more in line with Last House on the Left kind of stuff, where they're just attacking them and beating them down and everything, and they're planning on just killing them and making it look, like I said, make it look like it was a robbery gone awry. But Christy is so good as a character. She's played by Rachael Kelly, as I said. It really reminded me a lot of the film The Snorkel that I already reviewed on this channel in a lot of respects. The actress is really good. I loved Rachael Kelly in the role. She's very likable in her portrayal of the character. And much like Snorkel, I keep referring to that film, but much like that, when Rachael Kelly didn't do much after this film, unfortunately. Which is unfortunate because this was a great performance. I thought she did a great job, barring the, rushed ending, kind of, in my opinion. The overall story and the build-up is pretty damn good. And I think it has some really great performances in it. So, my final review of Scream for Help from 1984. I'm going to give this film an 8.8 out of 10. It is a very, very good film. Like I said, it's well acted, well directed, and pretty much well written, like I said, until the finale. Other than that, it's a damn good film. But have you seen A Scream for Help? If so, do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. Well, that's it for another horror movie night. If you missed last week's horror movie night video, you can check it out in the link above. Or if you have missed any of our videos on horror movie night, check out this playlist and you can check out anything that you've missed.